All right, time to get down on the front. So remember from the last video, there's the measurements right there. That's one side, and they're different on both sides, but that's the starting point. That's where my camber's at, so I can make sure I get it back to the right spot. And here we go. Throw the jack up on this cross member right there. Now I'm leaving it so that sway bar comes off. Where's it at? The sway bar is that little bar right above where the jack is pretty much. So I'm going to catch it right on the inside of that lip on that cross member right there. Here's where I'm at so far. Got the tires off. Got the sway bar off. I'm wondering, see, I'm running out of Chevy money now, so I'm going to have to start tapping into the account if I keep buying parts. I have a little bit left, but I want to save some for a just in case type of thing. Like dual exhaust. But I'm wondering if I shouldn't just upgrade that sway bar, because I can't see what that thing's going to stop. Sway wise, that thing's ridiculous. Also, I sprayed the shock nuts with some coil to let that kind of soak in. Figured I'd film this while that did that. But the shocks look original, I think. I can't tell. This one looks like it might have been replaced. The other one, not so much. So I'm wondering if I shouldn't go ahead and get new shocks for it. I don't know. I probably will, I guess. I mean, that's easy enough to do. And I can put it pretty much back together, and I just have to jack it up to put the shock back in, but that's not a big deal. But that way we can get it on the ground, see what it's looking like. But yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm going to try this side right now. I'm going to spray the other side with a little more because the nuts look a little crusty. I'm going to try this one real fast, see what happens. So we got those. I'm assuming those are 9/16. They look like 9/16. And then you got whatever's down here. I haven't been under there to see it yet. So we'll figure it out. Well, I got the plate off. I got the plate unbolted. I don't know if you can see it right there. One of them broke, so hopefully it's just a nut inside that shock plate, and I can fix that. This thing's being an asshole. I clamped some vice grips to the top, and it broke it off. There's the piece right there. So, looks like I'm buying new shocks, which I did not want to do. Whatever. It's time. The Persuader. All right, here we go. And that, my friends, is how we get it done. Oh, faithful here. Let's take a look at it. All right. There it is. Anybody want to buy this old school shock? Okay, I don't know where that other stud's at, or the whatever. I'm going to have to get up in there and see what I can find. But there we are. So now I get to buy new effing shocks. That wasn't part of the plan, but whatever. It's not going to hurt anything, I suppose. Now, there's two ways to do what I'm about to do. You can take those bolts out down here and have fun trying to line that crap back up, or the alignment cam's on the top here, on the upright. I'm taking this bottom one off. That's just a big bolt. Eventually I'm flipping these bad boys, and then this whole thing's going to be fixed up. But for now, because like I said, money is running tight, I'm going to pop this bolt out, ease that down, get this spring up out of there, and yeah, put those in. So here we go. So after fighting with the cotter pin, it lost, I won. Take that nut off here. That is 1 inch socket. I know I'm using a chrome socket on an impact, but I know it's not that much pressure on it. I think it's like 50 foot-pounds or something is what the Chevy was, so I'm assuming this is right about the same. Then I'm going to put some pressure on this, obviously, because this bolt's coming out, and I'm going to go on the other side and zap it out. I can't remember if it has to be unscrewed or if it taps out on the Chevy. I've never done it on a Ford, so I have no idea. but we're about to find out. Okay, so it unscrews. It's a gigantic bolt. It's greased up. I don't know where the hole is for the Zerk. There are 2 rubber seals. See that seal right there? Where's my finger at? Right there on either side to keep the grease in. So hopefully I don't screw those up because I destroyed them on the Chevy. So, yeah. This is about to be disconnected. It's all about to be disconnected. And I'm hoping it's not too eventful. I think the brake drum will keep me from getting hit in the chest by the spring if things go bad. See, where's that? There's the hole right there where it's coming out. Should be fine. I think it's gonna be all right. And then out with the old and with the new. We'll see. We're about to find out. Then I gotta order shocks. So let's finish this and we'll be right back. All right. There's the bolt. Or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, now it's time to drop her down. So I am going to get the hell out of the way. Just in case this thing decides it wants to go flying through the wall or something like that. Don't think it will, but you never know. I'd rather not be standing here when it does. So I'm going to put this bad boy back to the center. Whoa, okay. Never mind. It's already free. Oh, I dropped down. I didn't realize that. Okay, well. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Hang on, bear with me. I'm going to put the jack handle back together. All right, here we go. Let me prop this up a little bit better here. Let's see what happens. Come on, keep both my legs. Shit, I have nowhere good to hide in case the stuff starts going south. All right, well, let's see. Here we go. This is it. This is all being suspended. Didn't shoot out, don't worry, it just fell. Which I can live with. All right. There's the old one. I can't believe it's not heated or anything, but it was completely stuck. So I was reading the thread. I think it was on Ford Barn the other day, or the Ham or something like that. And they couldn't figure out which way this spring went, the Aerostar spring. Flat side up, flat side down. This was flat side up. That goes flat side up. It goes just like that right there. See there? There is a, and I'm saying this like I know what I'm doing because I've never done this before. You know what I mean? But like every other car on Earth, Jeep, everything, there's a notch right there for that bottom coil to fit right in, to keep it in place and to center it up. There's that other piece of bolt right there. I wonder if I can't get that out with some vice grips. Bear with me for a sec. All right, so here's where I'm at now. There is, that was the broken bolt. Cut it off, drilled it. and I bought an easy out. I didn't have any. It's way too small, it falls right through the hole, so I have to go exchange that for a bigger one. Got to cut this off so I can get this bracket out. That's what holds the shock onto that. Comes up through the bottom bolts on. Got new bolts. Just pulled this out. This is that spring isolator. This is this. So that is going to go right there and sit right up in the frame. Oops, there's two of them, no wonder. It's going to go just like that. So it's no metal on metal. And I'll show you where it goes. If people haven't done this before. Willing to bet that was the original. This bad boy goes right there. It's not going to stay. It's going to have to go on top of the spring. But anyway, it goes right there. This was packed full of dirt. I don't know what happened. It's almost like it was parked like in a lake or something. But the bottom of this thing's super clean. I'm looking for an overdrive trans if anybody has one. Factory overdrive trans. I have a T5. I'll trade you the T5 for the full setup. Alright. So I'm going to stand still until the store opens tomorrow. And then I'll get that out and I'll put everything back together. And we're golden. So that's where we're at right now. Tomorrow, we'll get it finished up, hopefully. Alright, sorry for the noise. The welder's cooling down. The broken bolt is taken care of. The easy outs didn't do anything at all. So, I did the next best thing. I drilled the crap out of it and welded a bolt in. And there you have it. It's probably still on fire right now. I just finished. I should have hit it right there. I still might. Nah, it'll be fine. I was trying to keep all water out of there so it couldn't rust at all. You know what I mean? But I guess it would get it from the bottom side anyway, so whatever. I'll paint it. Call it a day. I was gonna clean these arms up. I should. I don't have a sandblaster. But I was going to clean them up, paint them and all that, and make them look real nice. But I think I'm getting the jam coat kit eventually. So I don't know how much effort I'm going to put into these arms exactly. I'm going to do the ball joints. I thought about the fact that I'm going to flip the uprights, which is cool. But the Fat Man dropped uprights cost $800 with the steering arms. The jam coat kit gives you ball joints. And the spindle gives you a 2.5-inch drop, so it's the same thing. So if you deduct $800, it's only like $1,100, and you get brand new components and all that, and disc brakes and everything. I think is like $2,200. So not bad. So we'll see. But anyway, that's on. Time to start throwing all this crap back together. All right, now I have to get to that bolt right there, and the other one, which is somewhere else. Under here you can see them pretty clearly. So they seem easy enough to get to from above, but I think there's a nut that spins on the bottom, which makes no effing sense as to why they would have that way. But you can definitely get to them in the spring pocket if you can get a wrench in there. I don't know why they would have a nut on the bottom, why it's not welded. But that's one of those things. So I'm going to figure that out real fast and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went to put these on. Well, I went to see where the nut was on the bottom, and it's almost impossible to get to. Now this wrench I tried to bend it in the press, and it snapped in half. This length, you can wedge it up in there and get it in there, and it's the perfect length to be able to get on the nuts from, you have to go up inside the spring cup, and it's crazy. So I took the broken piece and I just welded it on there. It's probably still burning hot. I just finished a second ago. So now you got a handle to hang on to, so you can kind of put some pressure on it. I'm sure these bolts have never been off, so who knows how tight they're going to be. So we are about to find out as soon as this cools down what's going to happen. I'll let you know how it works. I'll market these $59.95. Done. Been trying to do some frame cleanup. All this right here was one solid looking piece. Like, all this was packed full of so much dirt and disgustingness. Hoping I didn't destroy the rubber seals. I don't think I did. This bolt, that bolt you couldn't see. That bolt you couldn't see. Couldn't see any of that up there. All that was packed solid. That's still packed solid down there. I'll take care of that when I get it out. All that, it was nuts, man. Big old hunk of something came up off of there. Hopefully it wasn't preserving the frame. Now it starts to rust out. Watch. That'll be my luck. All right, camber kit's in. I haven't fully installed it yet, but it came with these lock nuts. But I think they dig into the threads, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to loosen it up to put shims in when you need to do your camber part of your alignment. It doesn't make sense to me. So I need to go get another lock washer. I had one, and I had these 2 nuts. I need to go get 2 more nuts for the other side and 3 more lock washers, and then I'm good. And hopefully the camber's good. Huge pain in the butt to get to, but it worked out, and it got me to clean the frame up. This thing was completely covered in, I don't know what it was. It looked like the thing was parked at the bottom of a lake. And if I said that already, I can't remember, because this has been like days that I've been making this video. Yeah, so I'm going to throw the lower control arm on, get the spring in. The shocks are going to be delivered today. The tires are going to be delivered today. So I'm going to go ahead and start throwing that stuff back together. And then it's on. All right, lower arms back on. Time to throw the spring in. The shocks still aren't here, but they'll be here sometime. And I still have to get the bolts and all that for the upper arm. I'm wondering if I shouldn't wait. Nah, it'll be fine. All right, I'm getting the spring on. So this just came off the steering box. Here it is by the brake drum, so you can get a glimpse of the size. This is about the 6th time I've swept up at least that much dirt, if not more. Yeah, foul. Now, for anyone doing this job, the shop manual and pretty much every single video I've ever seen, every single write-up, has shown that you take these 4 bolts out for the control arm. Now, of course, I took mine out, but that was for a different reason. You don't have to do that. It's a million times harder. This right here, the Chevy manual said the same thing when I did the 51. I did the same exact thing. The top bolt right there is what controls alignment. That's your alignment cam in there. This bottom one is just a screw. And it's right there. It just screws straight in. The only thing you have to do, there's 2 rubber seals on the outside of these to keep the grease in. You have to be careful not to screw those up. But it's easy. I mean, you jack the spring, you jack it up and take your time and get it in there right, and then thread that through and then tighten the nut on, and you're done. So that's pretty much it. Don't do the 4 bolts. It'll make your life a million times harder. And there we have it. Front spring is installed. There's the drop in the coil in the bucket. You gotta make sure this bad boy is lined right up with it. Where'd it go? Where the hell is it? There it is, right in there. You can't really see it, but there it is. You can't see it, but whatever, it's in there. Make sure that's in there. Make sure the coil spring is seated up in there flat, and you are done. The bolt that goes through the bottom right here is 75 to 80 foot-pounds. This nut is 75 to 80 foot-pounds, it says in the shop manual. But when I did 75 to 80, or I did 75, it wouldn't, the cotter pin hole was under this on the castle nut, so I had to back it off until that would go through. So it's kind of loose, but the other one's still torqued down, so it should be fine. I hope. We'll find out. So that's that. Got to hook the sway bar back up, of course, and then the other side's identical to this, so I'm not going to film that. All I have to do is replace the washer, or put a washer on there, the lock washer, and I'm done. And then we check alignment, and that's all she wrote. So these are the shocks I bought for it. I was gonna buy Monroe's. Didn't buy them. These were rated a little bit better, whatever. That's the number right there. Now these are stock replacements. So we'll see how they do. I might have to get shorter shocks, but I mean, I shouldn't. I don't think I should. We'll find out. I'm gonna buy longer shocks for the rear. I have a theory on why when people put blocks on the back, they can't get the tires off. The shock is fully extended and it won't let the springs droop down any further, but they have plenty of room to go. My shackles were definitely not angled all the way in towards the spring. And coming from the world of Jeeps, long travel shocks are where it's at. So I'm gonna buy longer shocks for the back. And well, we'll see. I got the tires right here. These are the 205s. Those are mounted on 55 Thunderbird wheels, which have the same exact, they're the same specs as the 16s, but they're 15s. So let me go ahead and bang this out real fast and get it finished up. And the tire's on. Kingpins are shot. So I get to order new kingpins. Now I have to decide if I want to flip them or not, because now would be the time to do it. Because I need new steering linkage too. Yeah, I don't know. I need them. I mean, there's a lot of play in these things. You can't see it, of course. Listen. Hear it? Anyway. So yeah, now I'm going to bang out the passenger side and get this thing back on the ground just to see how it looks. So there it is. Front end done. Well, as far as videos.